Here's my top 5 list for accessories for a mirrorless camera. Mine specifically is the Sony ZvE-10. So these are what I bought initially when I first got my camera, but it obviously is relevant to many other cameras. First accessory would have been the small rig, and I have it on my camera right now, the small rig case. Really what it does is it's just a metal case, it extends the grip, and it gives you different mounting points around the camera. Really, that's it. As simple as it gets. The added bonus is that it has an inbuilt Arca Swiss plate on the bottom. Therefore, you can mount it without having to add a different plate underneath it. So if you're using the Arca system, fantastic. It has different mounting options around the side, as well as a few cold shoe mounts. So really extends the grip and gives it a little bit more protection, adds a bit of weight. That's not necessarily a bad thing. My number 4 is going to be a continuous power source, which again, I'm also using right now, which plugs into your camera and plugs into the outlet. That's it. You don't have to worry about your battery running down if you're doing videos. Of course, you can't do it in an action scenario, but you can certainly utilize it for things like this, studio work, or if you're using it as a webcam. This camera has the ability to plug it into a laptop and have a clean feed out, as well as not having to worry about the battery. Therefore, use this. Job done. You don't have to switch out batteries, you don't have to lose your feed in the middle of, say, live streaming or a video conference. So it would be a continuous power source as my number 4 pick. My number 3 is actually a joint venture, just because it's kind of an essential, boring one. It kind of leads into the last one, which is 1, batteries. This is by Newer. So whether it's their batteries, another company's batteries, or Sony's batteries, but more batteries. That's essentially it. Simple. You need batteries for it to go, unless you've got a continuous power charger like number 4, but you need that. And then this is memory cards, micro SD, SD cards, whatever you want to do. I've heard SD cards are better, but micro SD cards are a possibility as well, but they're a little bit smaller and you have to have the adapter. But as much memory as you can afford, because again, if you run out of memory on a memory card, you need to swap it out or you can't do any more. So my number 2 is audio. Audio. Basics here: batteries, memory, audio. The audio is great with this camera and other cameras, of course, but if you have something like a shotgun mic, or in my case, I have the wireless Ankerworks, you're just building up the better quality of audio coming from the camera and coming for your videos. They say most of the viewing experience is audio and visuals are secondary. You can watch a video with low quality video, but not low quality audio. You need to be able to hear what's going on, and hence building up your audio suite with things like this really helps. So I recommend these because I've got them and I've used them. I did a lot of research before I purchased the Ankerworks. You know, there's a bunch out there. There's DJI, there's Rode, very big in the audio game. So any of these, I think they're all good. They're just different price points and different features, but I really like the Ankerworks, worked well for me so far. So number 1 is very subjective, but it depends on what you're using your camera for. So we can split this into a few things. 1, if you're using it just as a studio camera, it's in 1 point. Then I recently purchased the thing that my camera's on right now, which is a small rig pole, a desk mount that just clips into your, with a little screwy onto your desk, and expendable, and that's it. I've tried a few different scenarios, tripods and even gimbals, but this seems to be the simplest solution and the least amount of space. So that's 1. If you're maybe need to be a little bit more mobile with your activities, then definitely a good tripod. I have tried a few as well. I got sent one from a company, and then I have a few others. You can spend a lot of money in this area or not, but a good quality tripod for your needs if you're going to be a little bit more mobile. Maybe it's the one with a monopod attached where you can take a leg out and now it's a monopod and not just a tripod. As well as I found this short tripod for a desk, which is really, really good. This is by Kulenhanda. I'll put it in the description because I can't say the name, A3. This, I've attached it to gimbals, I've attached it to straight to my camera, to my phone, to a whole bunch of different things. And it's very convenient to have a little tripod that's very stable. But also part of my number 1 is a gimbal. So again, these are just platforms in which you can put your camera on. So if you're using your camera in a scenario where you're moving around, The in-body stabilization in my specific camera, it has some room for improvement. It's a cost-effective camera, so therefore it's not the highest quality for stabilization. So for me, I've purchased OM iSmooth MT2, this thing. So this serves a bunch of purposes. It's got tracking. It has, obviously, the fact that it's a gimbal, it steadies your shot, which is the whole point. Whole bunch of different features, but the other thing is it serves the ability to have a camera on here, an iPhone, and camera, I mean big or small. There's weight limits, but a bigger size camera, my camera, which is relatively small because it's mirrorless, phone, GoPro. It has all the different mounts that you can put on here on a quick release system to manage steady shots. I've only recently got this. I did an unboxing recently. I haven't put this through its paces yet, but so far I'm very impressed. I've had a few different types. I'll put them in the description below, and I'll put them right here. This one, and this one, and this one. Some of these only work with phones. Some of them work with phones, and actually the three I've just listed are only good for phones. This one is good for camera, phone, GoPro, and a bunch of other stuff. So that's my list for top 5 accessories that I got with my Sony ZvE-10 as soon as I got it, or I've been building it out. This is, again, applicable to different camera systems, but I think just memory, batteries, stability of your shot, protecting your camera, that's where all of this kind of comes in, and getting great audio. You're covering the bases right there for what you may need, and then obviously there's so much more stuff you can get. Lenses, I didn't even touch upon lenses. That is definitely on my list. Lenses are sometimes more than the camera, and that's something I'm going to be moving on to next, but obviously that's a big jump. So the lens that came with my camera, the kit lens, it does what I need. I'm right now not going to touch it, but at some point I will be getting lenses because my camera has the ability to change them. Some don't, some are inbuilt, but this one does. That isn't on the list. It is important. I just haven't gone there yet, so I can't talk about it. There you go. That's my list. Hope you have a great day. Bye.